thank you for listening to our podcast.
We are available on the following platforms:
Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Tune in today. Welcome to Chilling with Clay.
And Wanda.
Today, our episode is about COVID, but we are going to be starting our episodes off with some stuff that's happened to us during the week, and then some icebreaker questions, and then going into our topic. Today, our guest is my good friend Ebony. Ebony, say hi.
Hey, hey, hey.
And tell us a little about yourself so that our listeners know what you do, because I'm a huge fan of your Comic Con stuff.
Well, hi, I'm Ebony. Not going to tell you my last name because I don't want y'all following me like that. But I'm a cosplayer. I do graphic design, illustrations. I'm graduating from school this semester. And yeah, I'm just a girl trying to live right and trying to have fun now at the same time. So that is me. I am she.
I was inspired by your 7 of 9 costume.
Oh my God, that was so fun. Did I tell you that that Jerry Ryan gave me a fist bump
What?
on that their Instagram?
Oh, because my one friend, she was supposed to be on today, but because of the weather here, we're all getting sick. And
Oh,
she cosplays, and she's an actress, like in the local area and
yes.
stuff. And she has a picture. She went as Xena one year,
Really?
and it was spot on.
Oh my goodness. Cosplay is everything. I'm surprised at how crazy it is now versus 10, 12 years ago because it was damn near non-existent
Yeah,
10, 12 years ago.
yeah, 'cause we used to go into the Comic Cons up in Denver and stuff, but now it's like huge. It's even
Mm-hmm.
more than it was.
Yep.
But our first topic that we'll get into is the Bernie memes. They're annoying me, but
Oh, oh wow.
because I just saw, oh my God, what was it? Before I started getting ready to record, there was a Bernie meme I saw on my Facebook, and it was from Mark Hamill, and it was a Star Wars one to where like he's in the Jedi Council, and I'm like, I just can't
Oh
take this.
gosh. Oh my God. I
Oh,
was on Facebook and someone has already gotten a tattoo of it. So that's where
wow.
we are right now in this country.
Well, Bernie Sanders is making shirts of it and selling it for charity, I saw this morning.
I seen that they
Hey,
were
use it
sold
for
out.
good, man.
Yeah.
Use it for something good. I'll tell you what my brother said. He said, y'all put Bernie anywhere except the White House.
Yes.
Oh my. At least he's having fun with it himself.
Right.
Donald Trump would be all over like, "Don't make fun of me. You guys are bullies." Well, you're the bully, bud. But yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. I have a question. Does anybody remember the days where no one knew of your political affiliation and people just made sure that you were like a good quality human decent being? Does anyone remember those days?
I do.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get back to that because like now this is funny because one of my friends, which she'll eventually be on the podcast, she started doing tarot card readings again. And she did my tarot cards, and it was spot on. Like, I don't really talk to her that often, so she was telling me stuff that like nobody would know that was going on in my life, and it was like was like, the universe wants you to cut out negative people out of your life, and I was like,
Mm.
done.
Mm. Say no more, fam.
Yeah, and
Oh
and
my.
it's funny because it's always my friends from Pennsylvania. Like I
Hey.
weeded, hey, you're friends with some of these people, you know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah. There's a lot of negativity on my Facebook that needs to leave, but
Yeah,
Yikes.
and I've
they've
removed a
all
lot
made
of
the cut. So
people. Yeah, Yeah, and even like on Instagram, like my kids keep telling me Instagram's the new Facebook, and my sister-in-law left Facebook for Instagram, and I'm like, okay, but
Gotta get off Instagram.
yeah, I should probably look because I mean I used to post like what I cook on Instagram, and
Hmm.
so I have a huge following because for some reason people like to see what food I cook.
Oh my.
And my oldest son, he gets so mad because he was like, "How do you have so many followers?"
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but there's a woman that crocheted a Bernie like doll. Have you seen that?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, 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 yeah. I saw a glimpse of that too, but I didn't read the post.
Yeah, and I thought that like she was advertising, "Oh, I'm gonna sell this," but she hasn't said anything about selling it because I was like, "I'd buy it."
Oh my
Uh,
goodness. Hey, I can crochet, but I can't tell you that it's gonna look like Bernie Sanders when I'm done with it.
Yeah, I can't do any of that.
yeah, I'll just stick to illustrations and other social media things.
Oh, you just missed it. Chad just walked into the room giving me side eye.
Chad crocheting.
Yep. Oh, but let me tell you guys about my externship. Maybe I got on the COVID train, but I went to school to be a medical assistant and phlebotomist. And this week I started because I told them when they were placing me, I was like, I want to draw blood. I want to draw blood. Where do you think they put me?
Put you in the COVID wing?
No, they put me in a private practice doctor's office.
I don't think they draw too much
No, they
blood.
don't. And I'm the only guy there besides the doctor. So
Oh,
when I
honey.
walk up to the front to call patients back, they think I'm a doctor, and I'm like, no.
Oh
Oh
no.
wow.
And then they were
If you're
like,
the only
yeah.
guy there, then there's probably a lot of cattiness too.
Oh yeah. I mean the girls are wonderful. I mean these are some really fun people to work with. But the problem was like when I was in school I was like, "Oh, manual blood pressure taking? Oh, I'm not going to have to do that." Well, this doctor's office doesn't use any of the machines. So you
Oh my
have to do
goodness.
everything manually and I'm like, "Oh my goodness."
I didn't pay attention during that part.
Yikes.
No, it's hard cuz some people have a silent heartbeat and it's hard to hear it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my.
it. I mean, I'm through my first week. I only have 4 more weeks to go. But like, like they know that I have a really good job with the government, so they're not like trying to be like, oh, we'll hire you. So,
Oh my.
so
You
I,
work for the
yeah.
man?
Oh yeah, yeah, because they know, and I mean, this is Phoenix, so the wives they go to work, and their husbands like make the money, and then the wives are driving these like brand new cars. Because when I was working in Scottsdale, I had our youngest in school, and oh my God, his one teacher, she baked that makeup on. She looked like a drag queen.
Oh
Ah!
wow.
Yeah, and it was crazy because like her husband was like some doctor, and that's how the teachers were in Scottsdale because that's the rich part of town. And like she didn't need the job. She was she didn't need
She's
it.
just there for shits and giggles.
Oh yeah, because she was driving a Mercedes. Like it was crazy. But that's how it is here in Phoenix. This is where the money is.
So what you're trying to tell me is that I need to move to Phoenix, where the money resides. The
Oh
money
yeah, because
resides.
because Chad's
That
always
sounds
saying,
great.
yeah, Chad wants to move to Scottsdale because we played a lottery. So he's like, if we ever hit it, we're gonna buy a house in Scottsdale.
Oh wow.
See, I would
Yeah.
love to play the lottery, but I'm also cheap. So I would rather get my gratification from like actual food than, buying a ticket and not winning.
Well, I mean, I don't. It's funny because we play the Mega Millions and the Powerball. I never get anything on the Powerball, but the Mega Millions, I feel like I'm a winner if I get $8.
We
Eight
actually won
dollars?
too.
Yes.
I won on Friday. We won $2. I'm like, wow. I spent 20 and I won two.
Yeah, you want to know what I won from that? A friggin' receipt. That's all I won.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
But my externship isn't bad. I mean, I really like they threw me in. Like day one was like in the back, and I was pretty much doing the office manager stuff that she couldn't figure out.
All
Oh,
right, don't laugh at me, but what is the difference between an externship and an internship?
That's what everybody keeps asking, and I'm not too sure because you don't get paid for
Mm,
either of them.
mm. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Externship, internship, same thing.
But I think it could be because like when you go to school, you have to do all these practicals. Like I had to draw so much blood with so many needles. Like you have so much hands-on that you're tested with. An internship, pretty much all you did was go to school, learning from the books, and then you're applying your knowledge. You're really not applying your knowledge in an externship because you already know what you're doing.
Mm.
I think that's what the difference is. I'm not too sure. If any of our listeners know, let us know what it means because everybody keeps asking and nobody knows.
Write it down in the comments.
oh my goodness.
we we don't know.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
because it was crazy because like they threw me in the back to where you called the patients back, and then they wanted me to like just do all of it at once, and I was like, "Whoa, players!" I was like, "I need to watch you. I need to see how you do it."
Oh man.
Because they're like, "You're really smart. You pick up quick." I was like, "Yes, but I want to see how you all do it, and then I could take what would work for me."
Mm.
And so I think probably the next couple weeks I'll be stuck in the back, doing patients. But I love the patients because we get laughing and they tell stories. I'll tell stories. It's a fun time.
And people are actually nice during the quarantines,
it
during the
depends.
COVID.
It depends because yeah, it depends because here in Phoenix, this is like the number one hot spot in the world.
Mm.
So like I know so many people that have died from COVID, and I know so many people that got COVID and survived. And like it's not dying down like people think here.
Right. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I know the only thing I pretty much do since 2020 is go to school online, go to work. That's it.
Yeah, that's how it
Grocery store maybe.
Yeah, that's how it was. Well, I mean, oh my God, when COVID started, I told my kids I was like, "You can't leave the house." And they're
Same
like
here.
they're like, "It's just a gas station."
Dad, I need to live.
Exactly. They were like, "How can you keep us prisoner?"
You'll thank me later.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was crazy because and they're like, "Oh, my friend tested and they're good," and I was like, "Uh-huh."
No.
But luckily we have not had no one in this house has tested positive, and at my work everybody came down with COVID and I was the only one that didn't.
Mm.
Because like I would stay away from everybody. Maybe it's just my anti-socializing that saved me.
That sounds like me.
Yeah.
100% here.
Yep. And I mean, hell, like my new job at Mesa, because I work for a medical command doing logistics, and I've been thinking about installing plexiglass on my desk just to keep people away.
Oh, you still doing logistics? You still doing
Yeah.
logistics?
Yeah, yeah. To our listeners, viewers, what are we, CNN?
Oh no,
I couldn't even tell you. I'm BBC at this point. My gosh.
Yeah, because like when I look on Facebook, like I wonder if what a lot of my friends are doing if they're still in the army and stuff because you really can't tell anymore. But after 15 years of active duty, I left and went to the reserves. And as soon as I went to the reserves, a army civilian job opened up, and they hired me right away. But it was with the MPs, and I was like, no. And yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I won't go into details, but yeah, I survived almost 2 years, and then my one of my friends was like, they need a logistic guy in the medical command, and I was like, tell me more.
Deuces.
no.
But I mean, with both of these jobs, I beat out hundreds of people, and so God was definitely looking out for me.
I hear that.
But I mean, I we maybe have a handful of full time people because everybody is like the weekend warrior, so they all show up like one time during the month. So it's not too bad. I mean, you just work on what you need to do, and you just really don't see anybody.
I mean, I know at this point, like, if they gave me the option to go back to the military, it would be a strong fuck no. Once they were like, all right, you're medically retired, you can leave now, I said, don't call me for nothing.
Well, the funny thing was, like, I got an email from HRC, which, if nobody knows what HRC is, it's the Human Resources Command that manages, like, all the military files and everything. And because I have a few years in the reserves now, plus my 15 years, they're like, here's the link to view your retirement briefing.
Oh
No.
my.
And they were like, you should think about retiring. But in the reserves, they suspended all that stuff, so you could go 30, 40 years if you want to.
Oh, wait,
Uh,
did they say that in the letter or?
Yeah, because I'll be getting my 20-year letter this year.
Oh,
And I could
Wow.
retire if I wanted to, but I was like, it's not, there's not a lot of stress because it's a medical command. So, like, we have doctors, nurses, like, not many support people. It's like all medical, and they all go on their different missions, for COVID and all that stuff. And, it's not bad with the MPs. They were trying to rope everybody into.
yeah. Well, I hope the military has gotten better than when I served. It was not fun.
Yeah, it isn't fun, but like everybody tells me like I'm the voice of reason because like when they're like, "Oh, we're going to the range," and I was like, "Well, shouldn't we have this, this, and this?" And they're like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kevlar, what?
Yeah, because right now, like this was my last month in my command up in Buckeye, where I was in the quartermaster battalion. And I mean, they're on their way out the door, and I didn't leave because they were going. But I was like, they transferred me to the medical command, so I'm the supply sergeant for our headquarters now. And they were complaining that at the range, it was always the same people doing everything. And I was like, well, you never ask anybody.
Oh.
I was like, if you don't ask, no one's going to be like, oh, yeah, I'll help you.
Or no one's gonna know. You either ask or volunteer people.
Yeah, and then they're like, well, we'll train the sergeants on how to do all this stuff. And I'm like, I've run ranges. I was like, you guys, you guys like stereotype everybody. But that's why I had to leave there because, oh, yeah, the medical command's excited to get me.
Go.
But this
Fly
week,
free.
yeah, yeah, I know. Oh God, I had to get out of there. I mean, because I've been in quartermaster units before, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's so easy." No, it's not, because you're all logistics, and everybody thinks they know everything. But
Ugh.
but but here's the funny thing: like my unit, my medical unit, like we are getting like people in like the NBC guy, but we have no NBC mass.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah. That's how the medical command is. Like they're sort of shifting, and I'm like, well, we have no property except for our computers. And so I'm like, are we gonna get stuff since we're getting these people?
Oh
It's
my.
like, wait a minute. So, oh no, is it gonna be like how 52nd had S3, like had the combat engineers, where they were just thrown in the S3?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, them poor people.
Yeah, because like we have the medical supply people too. So like it's crazy. But it'll get better, I hope.
If it doesn't, it's probably above your pay grade.
But let me tell you guys about our casino adventure that we had on Friday. Because Chad's like, I want to check out the casinos because my mother-in-law, she's always at the casino. And if you're listening, hey,
Oh my.
my father-in-law calls her Jackpot Judy. Because she won, like, a cruise one year at the
What?
casino.
Wow.
Are we talking about Vegas or casino
Oh, no, we're talking about Arizona. If you,
Oh.
yeah, if you come up here because a lot of the travel lands are up here. Now, I'm probably wrong with the number, but I know that we have around 10 casinos here, maybe more, because more keep popping up.
Ooh.
Well, whenever I was over there, we hit about three or four of them on the way back up to Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they're
We didn't
everywhere.
we didn't like some of them, but we did like some of them.
Well, I mean, they built a new one, so Chad was like, I want to go check it out. And I'm like, okay.
Uh,
And so we go, and like this casino, they built it to where you can't get in on the main level. So you have to elevator up, go through security and everything.
oh
And
wow.
oh yeah, like because of COVID, like they are hardcore at the casinos because on their digital sign at the street, it'll be like, we're using COVID restrictions. Come on in. No smoking. You
Oh
know,
my
it's all that
goodness.
crap. We're open. Come play our slots.
My my first casino experience was this year, January 1st through the 6th. Yeah, January 1st through the 6th, and in Vegas. And from what I'm told, it's completely different than how I experienced it, but I still had fun.
Oh yeah, because about 2 years ago, I had to take an environmental class for work, and it was at the Reserve Center in Vegas. So they're like, "Oh, you have to stay at the casino," and I was like, "Done."
Say no more.
Yes.
And this casino had a bowling alley, a movie theater, like all these restaurants. I was down there playing my penny slot machine.
Hey, that's what I mostly did.
Oh yeah, I always make money because Chad's always like, "How the hell do you make money on those machines?" It happens.
You just have to feel it, man.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I loved it because like the casino like had everything, and I was like, okay, like it was a good experience, and like Phoenix is trying to get there because I was like, oh, because of COVID, because a lot of my friends have gone, but you can't eat at the buffets. Like
Right.
there's so many restrictions right now, and they told me, let just to check it out, and so I was like, oh, I was looking at the shows because we're only 4 hours from Vegas from Phoenix.
Oh.
So like you could drive there because that's what I did when I went. We drove, and like I was like, oh, what shows are there? Because I saw that RuPaul's Drag Race has a show there.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and then I saw that the Whitney Houston hologram is there in Vegas.
I will say that whenever I was in Vegas this year, most of the shows that we wanted to see, we couldn't because of COVID.
Hmm.
Yep.
And whenever it was time to go to restaurants, we had to make reservations, and only four people could sit at a table. Unfortunately, we were rolling 12, 13 people deep, so ugh,
Yeah.
it kind of sucked because you couldn't sit with everybody, but I understood and I appreciated the tactics that they were using to keep people separated and safe.
Oh yeah, because they're doing the same thing here. Like if you go to the restaurants and your party is like too big, they'll like break you up into different sections.
Oh yeah, they'll split that shit up quick.
But what is the main casino down there that has all the shows? I can't remember the name.
Uh,
There's a lot of shows at Caesars, Planet
Oh
Hollywood.
yeah, Caesars. Caesars is building a casino here in Scottsdale because I went on the website and they're like a Phoenix location. I'm like, what?
oh well, that's
And
what's up. I got
yeah,
me a
and I
Caesar's
looked.
card.
Yeah, and
There you
so like
go.
like they're projecting like in a year or two their stuff will be done here, and I was like, are they trying to make this Vegas?
Oh goodness.
I'm not sad if they do. That's
Oh,
just
I
I
another
know.
spot for me to visit.
I think Caesars was my favorite whenever we were there.
I stayed at the Paris. That place is beautiful on the inside.
It is.
It looks like the outside, but on the inside. That's like the only way I can explain it. Like if you look outside on like a cobblestone street, yada yada yada, that's what it looks like on the inside of the building. It is
Yep.
beautiful.
Well, because I was on the government dime, I was at
Oh.
the end of the strip, And the casino was a little rundown, but the rooms were amazing.
Wait a minute, you said the end of the strip. Was it well no, because I have a friend that stays in Vegas and he was telling me about that one single casino that is at the end of the strip that all the locals go to.
Yes, that's
Is
where
it
we
that one?
were. I can't remember the name because yeah,
Oh,
because
Clay.
oh no, no, because when you leave the casino and like you go like further away from Vegas, like it's like all
It's one of
deliverance
those.
country.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that has no sign to let you know where you're at.
Uh huh.
So
Oh my goodness.
I've seen the glamour glitzy side of Vegas, and then my friend showed me like the four different quadrants of Vegas, and it was so cool. Like he showed me Koreatown, Stripper Row, um, the art district and whatnot. It was so cool. It's like next time I come to Vegas, we are going to these four quadrants again. Like I want to get out the car and stuff like that. And he showed me where the Raiders trained and stuff. It was really cool.
Well, let me tell you about what happened when we went to the casino. Because you have the parking garages, like this is a casino they just built. And so like you pull like you turn left to go to the casino. There is cameras everywhere. Like they got people outside directing traffic. And I'm like, there's two cars.
Oh,
Oh my.
And so you park and then you go over to where the elevators are. And as we're walking up, like there's arrows because of COVID, in and out. And there's these people that are telling the security guard to go fuck herself
oh,
because they go in there with their mask, but it's not over their nose. And the only way to get up to the casino is the elevators, and you can't operate the elevator. They have someone operating it. And so, like, and the elevator won't come back down until the security guard radios it to come back down.
Oh jeez.
And so, like they were flipping out, and of course the Native American police are there, because it's a casino,
right.
and so they're escorting him out, and they're like, I can't believe this bullshit, and they're like going crazy, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's all because they wanted them to pull their mask over their nose.
Oh wow.
And then this casino was all high tech because they're like, oh, temperature checks, temperature checks. Well, no one's temperature checking you because they have an X-ray machine when you
Oh,
get off the elevator that is taking everyone's temperature like in the whole big area. And I was like, wow, they mean business here. Because when we got
nice.
through, we were like, where's the temperature check? And then we look back and we're like, oh. And I'm like, what happens if you have a fever? Is like fire coming off your head?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but Chad's a cheap bitch. So we
Oh,
so he was like, "Oh, we're going to eat here." And like they have like a food court and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not eating at a food court."
sorry.
And so he was like, "Let's check out the steak place." And then he was like, "Can I see your menu?" And like it was expensive. And I was like, "I'm not paying $40 for a chicken parmesan."
Um,
What in the
Clay,
world?
okay,
Yeah.
so remember how I said I stayed at the Paris? Well, they have a Gordon Ramsay steakhouse restaurant in there. And I was like, you know what? I just got divorced. I'm about to live my best life. I saved up for this. I'm gonna treat myself to a steak dinner because I wouldn't normally do this. Honey, I walked into this place, beautiful, of course. I walked into this place, looked at the menu. I said, Jesus. My goodness, it was like $80 for a
Yeah.
steak.
Yeah.
$16 for a side. I said, shit, can I get some water? They were like, do you want tap or do you want, do you even need to ask? Tap.
Well, that was the funny thing because he was looking at the menu and then he gives it back and they're like, well, Thursday is our turf and surf day and it's only $20 per person. And I'm like, wow. Okay. And then Chad, because it was Friday, and Chad was like, damn, I wish this was Thursday.
Right? But no, I
Oh
spent $160 on that night for myself at the steakhouse.
Oh.
Tell me why 20 minutes after I got back to the room, I threw it all up.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Yes. You already know why, because I was.
Bulimic, we know.
Don't get me started on this weight loss, honey, because I will say that divorce is like the best diet I have ever been on. If I can thank Mr. Matthew Meyer for anything, it would be signing those divorce papers. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Now you have to deal with them. Thank you next.
Well, the funny thing is, when I left my first marriage, like I was like, well, I didn't know that
You
I
were
had.
jumping for joy.
Well, no, like she was poisoning me, and I didn't know it at the time.
What?
Oh yeah, and so like I was so depressed, and because I had the kids and I was sleeping all the time, and like I lost like 50 pounds because I was eating nothing but the fried chicken that you get at the like grocery freezer section.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Well, I
all
mean,
I ate. That's all
well,
I
if she was
ate.
poisoning you, it
Uh
was
huh.
safer.
Yeah, and then everybody at work's like, "Damn, I should try this chicken diet."
What kind of chicken that is? Banquet.
Yeah.
The banquet diet.
Yeah, but that was such a horrible marriage, and because I remember before she had moved up there, like like I was trying to save money, so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna eat fish for dinner. So I would microwave like tapia or telepa or
Tilapia?
yeah tilapia in the microwave, and I was like, oh, this
Clay.
ain't too bad.
Clay.
I know.
Tilapia in the microwave.
Hey, it happened.
No, no, it's
Are,
never supposed to
Oh,
happen.
I
are you
know.
sure? Are you sure that's not why you were throwing up and being all sick and losing weight? Could have been poisoning yourself.
Oh no.
Exactly.
No, because like I was sick for months, and then well, I'm pretty sure she's gonna sue me if she hears this. But
That's okay. You have people to back you up on this.
and I got the
Right on.
documents. No, but I was sick, and in the military, I was like I was on quarters so much, and my boss was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And so they finally drew my blood and stuff, and they're like, "Well, not much is left in your system, but you were being poisoned." And I was like, "What?"
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
But like I was so sick, like I would take my kids to the daycare, and then I would get home, and I would be asleep until it was time to go pick them up again. Like that's how out of it I was. It was crazy.
Gosh.
Wow.
But
Oh.
I could have just been depressed too, because it was Alaska, and anybody that is thinking of going to Alaska, don't.
My husband is obsessed with wanting to go there, and I'm like, you go right ahead. I'm not going with you.
I'll stay right here. I
Yes.
remember, I want to say it was like year 5 or 6 of the marriage. He was thinking about getting back into the military, and of course, being like the supportive wife that I am, he was like, yeah, what if we went to another cold state? What if we went to Alaska? I'm like, bitch, I don't even like Minnesota like that. Why would I go to Alaska? But he was adamant about it, but we didn't go, thank God.
Yeah, it was crazy because no one told me that there was earthquakes there. So,
What?
oh yeah. So this is a funny story that I have because I didn't know there was an earthquake, and one night my barracks room was shaking. My bed was like shaking and moving, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's a poltergeist in here."
Oh my gosh.
And then in the morning, everyone's, "Did you feel that earthquake?" And I was like, "That was an earthquake." Yeah, I mean, it was crazy because, like, where we lived in Fairbanks, like, half the year is sunlight, half the year is darkness. And so you would have to aluminum foil your windows to keep the sunlight out.
Aluminum foil?
Oh, yeah. And when I'd leave my bedroom, like at like 3 in the morning, it was bright like it was lunchtime.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was crazy because, like, I would go out and it would hit me and I'd be like, oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. There's no way to put it.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm back in South Carolina now. I don't have to deal with any of that. I walk outside. I could walk outside in a bikini in the dead of winter and be fine. I will take that any day.
Well, here in Phoenix, you could do that.
Yes, but Phoenix weather isn't good for my natural hair. It's so dry.
You say that now, like it's dry, but there are so much that you could do to your hair because like my instructor in my medical school, like she was all about the different weaves and wigs and everything.
But is it like Colorado arid?
Oh no, no.
Okay, because my hair broke off in Colorado. I was damn near bald by the end of it.
Well, it's not a dry heat here, like it's moist, because we have
Oh,
farms. We have,
that
yeah,
word!
yeah.
Oh,
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 is it like that meme? Don't say it, don't say it.
oh,
Moist.
yeah, moist. First of all, we should only use that word when describing baked goods. That is all.
oh my goodness.
Oh, but ending about the casinos, like it's crazy here. Like I'll tell you this, like my mother-in-law showed me the ropes at the casino, and she does not mess around because she'd be there with her cigarette and her drink, and she knew what machines to hit.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's like a whole thing because the casino up in Prescott, you have dinner at the casino, and you go down there and get your stuff going.
Oh my.
But I mean, there's a lot of people that they just can't get away from the casino, and I'm like a random person that goes to the casino. Like I don't go all the time.
Same here.
No?
But Wanda, before we started recording, you were talking about the casino there. Like, it took me a while to realize, oh yeah, there was a casino.
Yeah, it's like an hour away. It's in Maryland, but it's like right across the border. But we've actually the only other casino we went to that's actually in Pennsylvania was in Pittsburgh. But there's so many that we just haven't gone to. But I don't have any desire, especially during all this, to even go.
Well, it was crazy here when we went because like they had massive security people. And if you were not drinking your drink and your mask was down, they were on you in a second.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. I love going in there though, and at Rocky Gap and having them card me because it makes me feel young. I'm like, yes, I have accomplished something today. And there's my husband walking next to me, and sir, you're good.
It's like, girl, you old enough to drink? I love it when I get carded. Please card me.
Well, that's the funny thing. They won't card Chad, but then they'll card him, but then they won't card me, and I'm like, the bitch has gray hair. What the fuck?
Oh, it was premature gray there, Clay.
Oh,
Oh my.
but transitioning away from the casinos, this was a good week because we got a new president this week. Or is it
We
good?
did.
Depends on who you talk to.
At this point, all politicians are weird. Any kind of politics is crazy.
But I
But
wasn't really paying attention to it as it was happening, like, because I was at work and I was like, oh, I don't want to watch the live feeds. But Gaga had really brought a tear to my eye with her performance.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. I actually thought it was Thursday and not Wednesday, so I was kind of like a day behind, and I missed the entire thing, and I was like so confused. And I'm like, maybe it's the fact that it's the 2021. I thought it said 121 was the inauguration. So like, yeah, I was lost. I didn't see any of it, and I haven't even watched any of the replay of anything. So I honestly, it's whatever.
You remind me of when Trump was like, vote on this day, and it was the day after the election.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
We are available on the following platforms:
Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Tune in today. And stupid stuff.
My goodness. Hey, but
Oh my
I
gosh.
did actually. I made it to the voting polls. I mean, I did get that right. But I just didn't get the
Didn't get the right
inauguration.
day.
Wow. Oh man. But whenever I did go vote, I'm supposed to go down to the probation office down by my house. Well, here,
What?
that's where the voting poll
What?
was. Yes, we have an adult probation down like a couple blocks away from my house. Apparently, our town's just overridden with criminals that have to go to probation.
It is.
Because it used to be all out at the courthouse, but now they've split it. So some people go out there, and then some people go to the one in Altoona. So I go down there. There's like absolutely no cars. The probation office isn't even open. I'm like, what is going on? I go up and try to pull the door open, and it's locked. I'm like, dude, I want to vote, but where am I supposed to go? Nothing's online that my district changed its voting location. I had to call the courthouse, and they're like, ma'am, you're supposed to be at district court. I'm like, dude, like, when was I going to know this? Nothing came in the mail. They sent out a list of voting polls that were changed. I was not on that list. Everything was still showing the probation office. And I'm like, this is absurd.
Bless
like,
you.
Oh, my kids, they just won't stop. Oh my goodness. Now he looks like he's like drugged walking out of the room. Must have really hit him hard. Goodness.
Well, it's funny because like Chad keeps readily coming out here, and it's always like when I'm saying something about him.
He gives you that look.
Uh-huh.
Like you bet not.
But I really didn't watch any clips of him being sworn in and all that. Well, except like Jill was holding that gigantic Bible, and when she gave it back, she had that look like, thank God.
Oh, wow.
It's actually, he actually found that in Galilee itself. So.
Oh, really?
No.
God.
No, but I saw like there was a comparison video between J-Lo and Lady Gaga, and J-Lo's performance, I was like, eh.
Well,
Jeez.
here's how I feel on those performances, because I did see like little snippets of it. Lady Gaga is a great singer and a performer. J-Lo is just a performer.
Yeah.
No offense, J-Lo. We still love you, boo. But, you know, it's like comparing Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. In my opinion. That's just me.
But did you catch the Katy Perry fireworks one at the end?
No, because I was in class. I was in online class at that time, and I couldn't watch the Zoom as well as the feed without having it cross over into my Zoom and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, no.
Make sure you're standing near water.
Unfortunately, no.
Make sure we're standing at water.
Guys, be
Oh,
quiet. Oh.
But anywho, like I had to watch it because I kept seeing on social media, well, they used up all the fireworks in the country at DC. So I was like, what?
What?
Yeah, and if you watch it, like they were shooting off so many fireworks. I thought the Lincoln Memorial was going to explode.
Oh my goodness, this makes me want to go watch it now.
Because it was funny because they had shots of Kamala and Joe and Jill and watching the fireworks, and like it kept getting like more fireworks and then more and more and more, and like it looked like Washington was exploding.
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness.
Oh, it was funny. Like I was like, wow, am I the only one thinking this?
Probably not.
Oh goodness.
But one of the topics that I did want to talk about was social media calling out, because in this time of our lives, you know that there's the cancel culture. And like I follow, well, I'll be honest, I was following this really hot guy here in Phoenix who is a athlete, personal trainer stuff. Only because when he posts, he's shirtless.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
But
I think you
apparently,
showed me him
oh
before.
yeah, and he put a photo up with him and Eric Trump, and so another guy in California who is an activist who's gay and he's he's like really like calling people out. And he like posted their whole conversation because he called this guy out, and like it was crazy. And then I felt pressured because this guy was like, "Are you gonna unfollow him?" And I was like, And then one of the sponsors dropped the guy, and I was like, "Oh," but then like no one really dumped him, and I was like, "Okay," but I mean, like he is a Trump supporter because in Phoenix, this is Trump country.
mm,
No matter what you think, and I mean, it's just how it is because like, oh, my computer just like gave me a noise.
is it plugged in?
It is, but for some reason I logged into Facebook and now I get all these push messages on my computer when my Facebook updates.
Goodness.
No, but like there is all this movement like I just don't get it they like the Trump supporters are all being attacked and then I have friends on my Facebook that are huge Trump supporters and then they're like I feel like I'm being attacked and they're like, I'm a Republican, but I may have voted for Trump, but I'm not a Trumpian.
Oh goodness.
Uh, mm, mm.
Yeah, I just want to get back to when no one really cares what party you are.
Right, and see, and it's hard for me to even discuss politics even at this moment because I feel like that should be like a closed door thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
like I'll discuss sex with you all day, any day. To me, that's fine. I can be vulgar as vulgar as you want, but for me, politics, I'm just like I don't want to hear your opinion on it. But it's like I don't want to hear your opinion, but I do just because I'm always trying to learn. But there's some things that I just don't agree with. Um, and I really don't feel like having that negative energy. Like I don't have time to argue. I don't have the patience. So it's just easier for me not to talk about it. And if I do want to talk about it, I'll talk about it with my friends that are in different political parties and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily like to talk about it with people I don't know.
Yeah.
If that sounds weird, I don't know how to explain it, but that's where I am at this point in my life. Um, just because, yeah, yeah, it's like when it's either you stay aware and become insane, or you don't think about these things and stay ignorant, and it's a very fine line to juggle. Like,
Yeah, that's how it is at my army job. Like, we're like we know that we had issues with Trump, but no one really talked about it. But then at the doctor's office, someone will bring up, Biden's a criminal, and then someone will be like, "Oh, you're a Trumpster."
oh my, that's how it felt whenever I worked at the VA because when I worked at the VA, it was during the time where Colin Kaepernick was kneeling.
Mm.
And let me tell you, in the middle of Minnesota, there's not that many black people that aren't, like immigrants. And so I'm working at the VA, and then, like, one of the people that I'm working with, they're like, I don't understand why they just can't shut up and play football. And I just looked at her, and I was like, you do know I'm black, right? Like that's the one time I try not to like break character at work because work is work. But I just looked at her and I was like, I'm black, right? Like why it's how is it not obvious to you?
Yeah.
Like, but to some people it isn't. And after a while there's only so much explaining you should do or that you can do and like 2019, 2020 were like my years of saying, fuck it, I'm done being a teacher. There's all this information out there that you can go look up on past experiences of, other black people. I'm not about to go through every single year of trauma that I've been through, as a black female. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
do it. So go online.
Yeah, because talking about that, I told Chad, I was like, well, I don't really want to get a job in the medical field right now because, I still have a couple more years in me until I retire from the military. So I applied at the free clinic to be a medical assistant there. And they had questions on their volunteer thing about what discrimination have you faced and witnessed and like stuff like that. And I was like, wow. And then there was,
It's rampant.
yeah, and there was a question there about why do you think that the black community, the Native American, Hispanic community doesn't go to the doctor a lot? Like they wanted to see if people were woke, I think.
I mean, it's because they're not heard.
Yeah.
Simple. Simple. So I appreciate, yeah, I mean, I appreciate the demographics questions.
Oh yeah.
Now what are they gonna do about it?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard back from them yet.
Oh, jeez.
There's your answer.
Oh.
But closing out on the social media stuff, have you seen oh my God, we watch Comedy Central and all this stuff, and everybody is just, these rioters that seized Washington are the most stupidest people I could even think of. Because, they're being found by the FBI because they were live streaming on Instagram. And this one guy was like, Sam Johnson here, and I'm about to go into the Hall of Congress, and he's like, and I'm like, what the hell? And you people are so stupid. That's how they're finding them. And then they did hashtag storming Congress.
No, seriously.
Yes.
If we haven't learned one thing,
Yeah.
is that the media, social media is forever. If you post it, it is there. It doesn't matter if you delete it after 20 minutes. I guarantee you, somebody has already screenshotted it.
Yeah. And then I was hearing, I listen to Rachel Maddow. I'm a huge news junkie. And she did a segment about this chick from Pennsylvania who was arrested. And she's being federally charged for the riots. And her mom said that she would vouch for her and make sure that she'd be on the up and up. And then the judge had said to her, if you fuck up, your mother's going to jail.
Yeah, you can do all the vouching you want. It's still a federal crime. And what's ironic is that, you get charged with these federal crimes. No longer can you vote.
Yeah.
No longer can you own guns. No longer can you run for. I don't think you can run for any political office or anything
No.
like that
Mm-mm.
with a felony like that. But either way, it's like the one thing you were trying to oppose, the one thing you were trying to. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. That's all I can say.
Yeah, if that was my kid, I'd tell the judge, he good. Send him back to a cell.
Your Honor, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, there's times when we're out, the kids find us in a store, and I'm like, who are you? You need to find your parents.
Oh my.
But has anyone been thinking about getting the COVID vaccine?
Eventually, yes. Just because there are places that I want to go and whatnot, but I still need to do more research. I feel like there's not enough research on it just yet.
Same.
So I'm trying to do my research on it as well and make sound decisions. My mom is getting hers next week and whatnot. Um, I'm
So you're
still
gonna
gonna
wait
do
to
the
see if
whole.
she drops dead.
I'm gonna wait to see
Why?
if other people. I mean, because she's in her 60s. Sorry, mom, I love you. No, I'm not gonna wait until she drops dead, but I would like to learn more about the side effects, and because I have friends and I have family that have already gotten
Yeah.
the vaccination and whatnot. Some have had COVID, some haven't had it. So I'm just trying to, soak up all the information that I can and trying to weed out the misinformation because, with social media, there's a lot of that going around
Yeah.
too. So,
Yeah, because I just
yeah.
learned this week that the vaccine changes your DNA in some way.
What the
What?
hell?
Yeah, that's what I was being told, and I was like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, because I've
Where'd you hear this? Social media?
the doctor's office.
Oh.
Where they hear
They
it
heard it
from?
from social media.
Yeah,
Oh,
is it in a pamphlet?
I know, I know. But our doctor, he got it, and like he was like not talking about what he was experiencing, and I was like,
Oh my
okay,
goodness.
So like, I have autoimmune disease. I have lupus, and it really freaks me out. Like my immune system already is screwed up enough as it is. So for me to put that in my body, not really doing research and knowing exactly what's going on, I feel like I'm safer if I just continue to social distance and wear my mask and just limit to places I go for right now until it's like definitely something that is worth getting. But then I was also told that it's a yearly thing. So if you get it like tomorrow, you're also going to get it next year. You're going to get it the
yeah,
following year. And it's just like, I don't get the flu shot. I don't normally get the flu. I am even around people that are sick and I don't get it. So like, if I don't get the flu, then I don't get the flu shot. And why am I going to get this? It's pretty much the same thing. You're getting a shot to prevent from getting something. Well, I'm good without the flu shot. So as of right now, there's no like mandate on you have to get it, but I did hear like to get on an airplane, they want to make it to where you either have to have a negative test within 3 days, I think it is, of flying, or you have to have your vaccine papers with you. If I plan on getting on an airplane anytime soon, once that goes into effect, I guess I'm gonna have to figure something out. But I honestly, at this moment, I'm not getting it. Hold on a
yeah. She better mute. To our listeners, when we were doing some dry runs, Wanda's kids got a little out of control, and she thought she was on mute, and she wasn't.
Okay, I think they're done, but
Well,
in the
Wanda, you know, like if you do get the flu, it's a little too late to get the shot.
no,
Yeah.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is like I don't get the flu shot. I refuse it every time I'm at the doctor's and they want me to get it, but I don't get the flu, you know. So I'm out in that was like whenever I was out in public around people that were even sick. I still don't get it, but I'm
Yeah,
good.
I know a lot of medical people that say that they're waiting. They're not going to get it because in the military right now they can't make you get it because it's not like fully approved. So, and you know how military is, we're their guinea pigs.
Hello,
Well,
Tuskegee.
Mhm. Yep.
and it's also recommended that even if you get your vaccine, you're still supposed to wear a mask.
Yes.
So how am I getting? How is that preventing me from getting like? Am I supposed to wear my mask or am I supposed to get the shot? Why should I have to do both? But like I have no problem wearing a mask. I understand that a lot of people, are against it or whatever. But I wear it for my safety and my family's safety. So I'm good.
At this point, I'm just color coordinating my mask. You don't want to know how much money I've spent on buying masks. I got glittery ones. I have sequins. I have clear ones that you put over top of other ones with diamonds and whatnot. I'm not playing. I'll wear them. I'll wear them if I have to.
Okay, Paris Hilton.
It's a fashion accessory now. It's
Yeah.
adult
Hey,
accessories. Yep.
hey, I'm gonna. Hey, if I have to wear it, I'm gonna have some fun with it.
Exactly.
I'm out there
I,
with my N95 white mask.
you're no fun. Tie-dye that or something.
Oh no, people stay away from me because they're like, "Oh, he has that mask
He
on."
has the.
Oh my.
Well, no, I'm
Oh,
hoping that they make more. Are they making more or because I know there was a shortage before. Are they making more N95 masks?
they are. Well, I mean, especially here in Phoenix. But if you have a stack of them, you can wash them because they're reusable until like the metal bar for your nose breaks.
Really?
Yeah, because all you need to do for our listeners out there, because I researched this and in my medical school, they taught us all this stuff. You can, to sterilize your mask, because I know people that were hand washing them and putting them in the sun. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is just do them in the wash and put them in the dryer. Because if you do like an hour in the dryer, it's already killing anything that would be in it.
So don't spray it with vodka.
No.
Oh.
But
Wow.
then I see people that have those neck gaiters that come up and they're saying that doesn't even really do anything.
I have a few of those, and I'll tell you something. I think it's because they're not layered, a lot of them. Like, you're supposed to have at least 2 layers to a
Yeah.
mask, and a lot of the neck gaiters are like one single ply of something. But if there are thicker ones, so I would assume that, they would help a lot more than like the real thin ones. But I think a lot of people are getting the real thin ones and thinking, well, I can at least breathe through this thing, you know? I
So you can.
preferred them, but
Right.
I mean, the thicker ones.
Well, here in
Yeah, if you can breathe
Phoenix,
through them, then I guess it's
yeah,
not right. Right.
Exactly.
yeah, because here in Phoenix, they since we've been vaccinating, like you see all these people that not wearing masks now, even though it's a city mandate that you have to, and like I'm always saying to people like the other day, like this one guy like had it right at his chin. And I was like, you need to put that over your nose, sir.
There's been like so many videos I've seen on the internet of people going up to people and being like, "Where's your mask?" Or people actually getting in fights
Yeah.
over people not wearing masks and whatnot. And it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? Hello delivery, hello Walmart delivery, hello Target delivery. It's not hard.
So you sound like Chad because I am a very avid Amazon shopper. And
That's a show for itself right there.
I know, and every time he sees an Amazon truck here, because in Phoenix, we have everything, because we're
Right.
like one of the largest cities in the country. And we were on the road on Friday, and there's an Amazon truck behind us, and he said, "What did you fucking order now?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, the driver's just gonna come right up and hand me my package."
It's crazy when they already know you by name.
I know.
Oh,
But
my.
I've been secretly like shipping stuff to my work, so it doesn't
Not
come
anymore.
home. I know.
Oh yeah, he
You
will
just put
find that
yourself out
now.
there.
Hey, see
Yep.
if he popped around the corner just now.
Oh my goodness. Oh
But our
wow.
last topic before COVID is something I put on here. Like, do you guys keep your text messages from your friends that died?
um,
Am I the only
if I
one?
if I have to think about it, then they probably weren't my friends. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
I haven't
no.
really had any friends that died that texted me. I mean, I did save a voicemail from my mom after she had passed away. But then I got a new phone, and a new phone number, so that kind of like went away.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my problem too, because when I switched my phone was after my dad died. But now with the cloud, it just takes my text messages with me. Because my one friend a few years ago that I served with in Alaska, she had committed suicide. And I still have all of our text messages, and I sometimes go through it because I was really stupid because, like, like everybody when she died, like I didn't know what had happened, and so me being the stupid blonde, I text her. I was like, "What's this hearing? Why am I hearing that you died?"
Wait, time
Yeah.
out.
She
Let's
didn't answer
rewind
you.
that. Audience, did you hear what he just said?
It must have been the grief.
Breathing hard.
Yeah, like I mean, it was a. I'm not going to go into details, but it was some crazy shit. But I mean, it was more like a drunken crazy thing. But I mean, we were very close, so like I still have all of our text messages, and I'll sometimes go back and like she had told me, you know that she needed more money, and I was like, you need to get a sugar daddy, and then she'd be like, why does everybody keep telling me that?
Move to Phoenix. Oh my goodness.
I know, but I mean that's what I do. Like I have a friend that I served with in Iraq, and she died of cancer, and I still have all her text messages. I just can't come to getting rid of them.
You said you just can't get rid of them?
I can't.
Then don't.
Yeah, yeah, because Chad's like, that's a little morbid, and I was like, what?
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
what's morbid is if you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. But if somebody that I knew, oh, fuck it, I'll just say it. So if my ex-husband happened to die tomorrow, um, yeah, I'd probably keep all the texts that he written, even the mean ones.
While you're dancing?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't really be dancing because I'm no longer on the life insurance policy, so it doesn't really matter. Wink. I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, no,
No.
I would probably keep it because it's a lesson learned and whatnot. But I don't know. It's maybe that is morbid.
Well, I mean, if my ex-wife died, I'd only go to the funeral to make sure she was dead.
And
Well,
I'd
I
be
don't
standing
know.
right next to you too.
I know.
Everybody would be wearing black and knowing him, and well, it's crazy because he's not religious at all. So I know his family is somewhat religious, so they would probably try to have like this huge Catholic funeral, and they would all be wearing black, and I would be coming in with like bright ass red or hot ass neon pink and be like, he ain't even want that. And then I would get up and make a speech and be like, he would want me to call him an asshole. And I'd call him an asshole and then I'd walk out.
But you'd also
Yep,
have your titties out.
I would. I would. But once I think about it, they're so huge that they would be out regardless of what I wore.
Oh my goodness.
They would be out regardless. And I tell my mom that all the time. She's like, you need to put a different shirt on. And I'm like, Mom, I could wear a turtleneck and my tits would look huge. It does not matter.
Yeah, because there's do you guys watch The Magicians?
Oh, I have
Oh,
to start it over.
no.
No spoilers.
Because the blonde chick on there, like, she has a huge rack. And no matter what she's wearing, because in like, the last season, she's wearing, like, turtlenecks and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
they're still popping out.
What is this on?
The
Netflix.
Magicians? Yeah, it's on
Just
Netflix.
didn't
Oh,
it
okay.
used to be like on TNT or something like that?
I
I've
think it
never
was
even
on
heard of it.
Sci-Fi, and then
So,
yeah. It's a pretty good show.
is anybody else sad about Supernatural ending? I still haven't seen the ending of it, so no spoilers. But I'm sad.
No, I haven't really watched a lot of the seasons. The only thing that I've watched that would be supernatural would be Jensen's PETA photo where he's naked.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
put the link down below.
Oh goodness.
I'm here for it. I'm here for Castiel too.
Who's that?
He's the angel. He's the angel in the show. He's one of the angels in the show.
See,
One of my
I
favorite
watched the
characters.
early seasons. I haven't watched like the latest ones.
Oh hell, now I'm giving out spoilers.
But I mean, like the one guy, he's gonna be like Walker Texas Ranger now.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
he's Walker Texas Ranger now.
Yeah.
I think they already have like a couple of episodes out, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, what's next? Dr. Quinn?
Don't get me started on Dr. Quinn,
I know.
Medicine Woman. That was my show growing up.
Mine too. Jane Seymour's been really petitioning,
Yes.
trying to get it back.
It needs to, hey, it needs to come back. It needs to come back. I will sign that. I'll sign the petition. I'll sign it. Bring back Xena. Bring back oh goodness gracious, what's all those great '90s shows?
Well, they
Bring back
are bringing
Hercules.
Xena back, but they're trying to redo all of it, and it may have gotten canceled already.
Like a different with a different Xena.
Yeah,
Or
because they were trying to do a revival with it, and designing women's coming back.
really?
Yeah, but it's not going to be the cast. It's going to be like their grandchildren or something.
Oh, that would be something.
Yeah, because I mean, half the cast is dead.
Right, exactly.
Oh my.
That kind of reminds me of how I can't remember which year it was, but it's like recent years, like 2016, 17. Y'all remember the movie Still Magnolias, right?
Oh yes, not the black
Okay.
version, right?
Damn.
Because that one wasn't a good one.
Okay. Let me finish, because I'm gonna get to that point too.
Oh,
But yeah. All these remakes remind me of when they like remade Still Magnolias, and I was like, I don't know how they gonna do Sally Fields. How are they gonna find somebody to do what Sally Fields did? And they came out with the black remake, and I was like super excited. And then I watched about 5 minutes of it, and then I was like, oh no, oh
I was the
no.
same way.
I, I, I literally could only sit through 5 minutes of it, and I was just like, these are some of the same words, and it's kind of modernized, with like iPhones and shit like that. But for the most part, I'm glad that they did it, but I still like the original better.
Yeah.
Don't do Sally Fields like that. Don't do Sally. Sally said, I just want to hit something right now. Lisa said, here, hit this. You cannot remake that. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot remake that.
Yeah,
As
there was
hard as
a
you try.
yeah, there was a show from oh yeah, because we were watching the new DuckTales. Oh, it's amazing.
Woo-hoo.
And then we went to watch the originals from when we were growing up, and we're like, oh, that's too much.
Man, cartoons back at... Okay. Does anybody remember Ren and Stimpy being on Nickelodeon?
I
And I'm not
do.
Okay, do we remember, like, the bad Ren and Stimpy being on Nickelodeon? I mean,
Uh-huh.
like, the very vulgar... What happened? Like... was our childhoods ruined? Because there was some stuff that we saw back in the day that would not fly now.
Oh, I know. But see, everybody was excited when they were remaking Sabrina. And then no one realized that it was going to be a dark, dark Sabrina.
Honey, I realized it, and I'm here for it. That Ambrose, you can get it all.
Well, I'm here for Lucifer.
Are we talking about Lucifer on Sabrina or Lucifer
On Sabrina.
Okay, I thought we were talking about Lucifer on Lucifer because he can get it too.
Yeah. And I think we probably lost Wanda because she's gone silent.
Wanda!
Her kids were probably like, yeah, your time's up.
He's like, what we not gonna do is sit here for another hour. You're done.
We'll just move on without her. Maybe she'll come back.
Hey, you just let me know how to go.
But before you make a phone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say to people?
It depends on whether I like them or not. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm calling my brother, I don't need to rehearse anything.
No.
If I'm calling, like, into a job interview or something like that, yes. Yes.
Yeah, because like my work calls, before I call, I'll be like, oh, what am I gonna say? And then I try to have a script in my head.
Oh, okay, so here's something similar. Whenever you are at work or in a setting where you have to be professional, do you find yourself having to like flip a switch or turn your dial of vulgarity down to like a
Oh
certain
yeah, cause
percentage?
people tell me like when like over the years, so many people told me that when I'm on the phone, like I am so professional, and like I'm just a perfect like person to make a phone call. But that comes from my marketing training, cause I'm trained
Exactly.
in marketing, and I'm like, yeah, that's my marketing training.
Exactly. Oh my God. That reminds me like so much people are like, "Oh my God, is that really your voice?" And I'm just like, "Yes, that is my voice, but if you see me or hear me after 5 p.m., I no longer sound like customer service Ebony Nicole. I sound like Ebby or I sound like Nikki, and she is quite vulgar. So it goes from about 10% vulgarity to about 80 by the time 5 p.m. hits.
But
And
what I can't stand is when people call you at work and it's like 7 in the morning and you're there early. Nobody should be calling you. And and I just, sometimes I lose my shit because I'll answer it and I'll be like, what do you want?
Why why are you picking up the phone for work and you haven't clocked in yet?
Oh, because they can see it and all that, you
Oh, that's
know.
fine and dandy. Are you
Yeah.
getting paid for it though, is my question.
But that's why I love being a DA civilian mil tech because if people call me after hours, I don't need to answer my phone.
Hey, that's the one thing I enjoyed about being a civilian.
Yeah.
Because in the military, people will call you to, like, I can't even remember the last time I had a decent lunch in the military because I would always work through mine.
Oh, yeah.
And then yeah, and even if I did go to McDonald's, of course, I would see like other soldiers there and they'd be like, "Hey, what about yada 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 yada?" Or when you get back, can we do da 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 da? Da?" And I'm like, I have the same amount of time for my lunch break as you do. Do you not see me trying to eat these fries?
Well, I don't even do a lunch break because I'm like, well, I get two 15-minute breaks in 30 minutes. I'm just going to leave work an hour early.
Is that legal? Can you do that? Can we
Yeah,
do
apparently
that?
you can because everybody does it.
I'm gonna need to see this in writing before I do that because I don't want someone to be like, "Ooh, she left early, y'all."
Oh no, like with my boss, I'm like, here are my hours. I'm telling you what I'm working.
Oh yeah.
And all the other civilians are like, you did that? We can do that? I was like, go ahead and try.
And that is why I'm like so excited um that I get to do like freelance work and with graphic design and illustrations and stuff like that because it's like I pick my own hours, I can pick my own clients, and if I feel like working, I work. And if I don't want to work, I don't work. It's lovely.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy about my job because when I moved into medical command, I was up on the second floor for everybody, and we have a warehouse building where the supply is. And our supply sergeant was full time, but then she left and they changed it to, 1 weekend a monther. And so I took that spot and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to move down this warehouse. And nobody, because it's a long walk from the main building, and no one comes down there.
So you're just all by yourself.
Yeah, because there's like five of us down there, and like I have my gamer chair in my office that reclines back.
Time out.
Yeah.
You have an actual gamer chair
Oh yeah.
at work.
Oh
Oh yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
But are we playing games?
No. But I'll probably be watching TV because I thought I ordered a monitor, but it was a TV. And everyone's like, put it in your office and just watch TV. I was like, done.
Oh my God. I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember the first week that I ever came to Colorado to 52nd? I feel like I met you and then I want to say like a week or two after that you're like, "Hey, do you want a TV?" And I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I remember that.
yeah." And can I tell you?
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
We are available on the following platforms.
Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Tune in today. Like, well, I get.
Can I tell you that to this day, that TV still works?
Oh, does it?
Unfortunately, yes, and it works well. It works so well. Unfortunately, I had to leave it in Minnesota with like the divorce and shit like that. But because I didn't have the room for it. But it still works, honey. It still works.
Yeah, because Chad was like, why the fuck did you give her that TV?
Tell Chad I said thank you.
Because it was just sitting, like, in the dining room, and I was like, okay.
Let me tell you, it was put to good use. It was put to great use. It lasted longer than the TVs that we bought together.
Yeah, because
And
speaking
that's
of
saying something.
TVs, like I got this black cat, and
Like, wait a minute, like, is that the name of the TV or is it actual cat?
oh no, it's an actual cat. And one night we were
Oh,
like, oh, she'll be fine. She's in our bedroom. She knocks over our TV,
no.
breaks it, and Chad's like, "You're a fucking cat." And who does the cat go to now? The cat goes to him. He'll come out, and the cat will be like, "Meow."
So not only did you lose the TV, but you also lost a cat.
Yeah. And then, of course, my boys are like, I can fix that TV if it can go in my room.
It's like, nah, we good. It'll stay right there.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So how you guys tell me about parenthood. How is parenthood? Because my ovaries don't work. So tell me some of those stresses and some of those joys of parenthood.
Well, for me, I regret it.
Oh, stop.
Oh my God. I'll tell you this. You know, I get in so many arguments, and like, even though all of my kids are adopted, they're a lot like me because they picked up on how my personality is and have adapted it and all that stuff. And yeah, like even my 10-year-old's like, I'm going to live at home forever.
Aw, keep
'Cause-
that same energy in 4 more years, kid.
No, because this is
Oh
what
my.
he said to my father-in-law when we were up there for Christmas. He was like, "So, do I get your house when you die?"
Oh
Oh
my.
my goodness.
And they look at me, and I'm like, I don't know.
Oh my.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just hoping
I
that. Yeah, I just hope that we don't get Chad's mother's house when she dies out in the
Okay.
Colorado mountains.
Ooh.
No. where
Oh.
where her neighbors are bears and like all kinds of craziness. No.
Squeeze me Airbnb.
Oh, that could be good.
Hello.
There you go.
Yeah, she won't come down to Arizona. It's too hot down there.
She won't come down to Arizona, but she'll live in the mountains
Mm-hmm.
with the bears.
Mm-hmm.
Does she actually have to drive on the mountain to get to her house?
Oh yeah, because she was like when they first got the house, you know, it was a short sale because it's like in the middle of nowhere, and so we're like, okay, we'll come up and see it, and then the road stopped, and then it was like biking trails, and
Nope.
thank God we were in the RAV, and if we weren't in the RAV, we never would have made it up there.
As in, you would have fallen off of a cliff?
No, because the roads weren't flat, and you know they were made from people like RVing and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, so like it's crazy, but I mean they love it out there. Like they have a deck that goes around the whole house. They just built a new garage, and for their youngest daughter, like she has her own playhouse. They just built her. Like they love the mountains, and I'm like, no, I couldn't live out there.
Yeah,
So
I'm with
I
you.
I have a question. What advice would you give me as a 33 going on 34-year-old? I'm only saying my age once, by the way. What advice would you give me for wanting to be adventurous, but also not wanting to die?
Well, one black. Well, one black don't crack.
You're damn right. What did they say? Black the berry, sweet the juice. Hello. It's true, ladies and gentlemen. It's true.
But I mean, when you say adventurous, are you talking sexual adventurous
Oh,
or?
I'm good in that realm.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh.
Uh, I'm good. I mean, is that another episode,
Oh,
perhaps?
it probably
But
could be.
There you go.
Well, it all
but
depends because me and Chad, before we had the kids, we were always traveling,
hmm Well,
and
see, that's what
now,
I'm getting into now.
yeah, we're getting back into it too, and we're just like, go watch your brother. Bye bye. We'll order you a pizza. Don't worry.
But it's like I want to, like with this divorce, like I want to do things that I haven't been able to do or that I was too afraid to do. Like I got a friggin' TikTok and I'm already planning on making videos where I'm singing because
Oh,
no one has heard my singing voice because I was too afraid to let people hear my singing voice. So I'm like, fuck it, y'all gonna hear it today, And
I'm the same way because like I'll be singing in the car, and like I can sing, and then my kids would be like, "Is that you?"
Dad, is that you?
But my 10-year-old took over my TikTok, so
Are you serious?
yeah, because I didn't realize that it was on the tablet I gave him, and so like he changed the whole thing, and I'm like, okay.
Oh man, those algorithms, man, you gotta love
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yeah.
Gotta love them. But no, it's like I want to learn different things. Like I want to learn how to cook Korean food better. I want to travel more, and I'll be able to do that now. But I'm still kind of afraid to do certain things like, oh, whitewater rafting or bungee jumping, things that would like either kill me or permanently maim me. I don't necessarily want to do.
You sound like a Hallmark movie.
Oh, jeez.
My life
Recently
is a Hallmark
single,
movie.
going to a cooking class.
My life is a Hallmark movie. Now I just need like, wait a minute, do they have sugar daddies in Hallmark movies?
I'm sure they probably could.
Well, they do on TLC. I'm looking for a house, but I'm on a budget of 1.2 million, and I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Oh my. Oh wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
But
It
what
took me
made
until I was 33 to ride in an airplane.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, were you just like afraid of them or you just didn't like have anywhere to go?
Well, no, I mean, there's
Oh
a
my God,
lot of places.
that sounded so horrible. Wanda, I don't
No,
want
I mean, there's a lot of places that I'd love to go to. It's just that it took me until I was that old to actually have the courage to get on um, an airplane.
I feel you. I didn't get my license until I was 26.
what?
Yeah, honey. Okay, long story short, whenever I was 16, 3 days before I was supposed to like take my driver's permit well, not driver's permit, but get my driver's license, my mom got in a really bad car accident and it shook me for years. So I would just continue to get the driver's permit. I didn't get my first car until I was 26, and that was just because I mean, everywhere that I had to go, other people were going. So I was just like, okay, I'll take a ride there, whatever. So I am still at 34. I am still learning how to drive, and I still hate driving. Um, I need to live in like New York or something where there's like a subway system or buses or whatnot because I hate driving that much. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Does somebody want to be my chauffeur? Like,
You sound like my ex-wife.
Oh, jeez.
Cause when I was up here doing, time with my kids and stuff, I'm not from Phoenix. Like she moved here years ago, and I didn't know anything. This bitch is so afraid of the highway. She would be taking all the side roads, and I'm like, this took like twice as long.
but hey, you didn't die, did you?
Oh my God, I almost did. Some of the neighborhoods here are sketchy.
Oh my.
Well, no, it's like, and that's one of the things that I'm learning how to do better as well is driving because now I have to do it for myself and I want to do it for myself. Like, I know virgins that drive better than me, and it's sad. It's like there's kids that drive better than me, and I'm just like, oh
Oh, I
shit.
don't know about that. Cause,
Yeah, I don't either.
'Cause I was teaching Randy 2 years ago how to drive, and when he was at his foster home, like they had a stick, so he has a tendency of leaving a foot on the brake-in gas. And we were at the
No.
bank, and instead of going backwards, he went forward.
Oh, shoot.
Oh
Yeah, and
no.
jumps over like the parking space stopper, and I'm like fucking having a heart attack because everybody is like looking at us like, what the fuck?
It's okay, people.
Oh,
He knows how to drive a stick.
Oh my God.
That's all you should have said.
And then I had him moving Chad's car like a couple months later, and right beside my Rav, he, for some reason, was like, oh, let me just turn this bitch. Cra- Fucking crashes into the Rav. Yeah.
No.
And then he just stops, like mid crash, and then goes out the passenger door. And was like, and like he's having a fucking like breakdown, and I was like, bitch, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass.
oh my gosh.
And then I have to crawl through the fucking car, and I'm like, why couldn't you just stayed in here?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But he
Oh.
has not attempted to learn to drive since. Like he's like petrified. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. But I told
Break
him, I
him.
was like, I'm not your chauffeur, so.
Br- break him and break him quick.
Well, I showed him where the bus stop was. So I was
I
like, you can take a bus.
okay.
There you go.
I will say that after a while he will get tired of it, and when he's ready, he'll know.
Yeah, because I had my dad taking me everywhere, so I didn't get my license till I was 19.
Mm.
Because
Then once I
my
think
dad
about it, I
never
ain't had nowhere
complained.
to go.
My dad took me.
I
Maybe
taught
he
my two
complained in
stepkids.
silence.
My stepkids learned how to drive. I had to teach them. The boy is a year younger than the girl, and he got his license before her.
Mm.
And I would honestly trust driving with him over driving with her any day.
Is it because she overthinks things like women do?
I
Sounded
don't
Oh,
really
think.
wow.
No,
well.
no,
I'm speaking for myself.
no. Honestly, it's because she doesn't pay attention.
Oh.
She's just bad. It's no, I'm good.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
have to hold on to everything if I'm in the car with her, which was only one time since she actually had her driver's license, and nope, that's the last. I'm good.
I'll walk.
Yep.
Yeah, my kids tell me they're like you drive like a bat out of hell, but you're a good driver because you make those corners like no one I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
My 10-year-old shaking his head at me. But Chad, he'll be like we'll be on the highway and he'll like hit that gas, and I was like, God damn, where are we going? The moon?
Right? Speeding only gets you there 5 seconds faster anyway.
Yeah.
Literally 5 seconds faster.
That's if you're not pulled over.
I'm the one that would be pulled over for driving too slow.
Oh, we have that
That
a
would've-
lot here. Because like in Phoenix, when you're on the highways, like it is like crazy.
Packed? Is it packed?
It is packed, but I mean they opened up a new highway, so it's not so bad. But we have a carpool lane too. But if you're driving too slow, you'll get pulled over if you're not moving with the traffic.
Oh wow.
Because it's like a
What if-
safety.
But what if traffic is moving too fast?
You gotta stay up to traffic. But if you're going the speed limit, like I've seen people that are going under speed limit, and then, as my kids say, I have a anger problem, and I'll be like honking, and wind my window down, and I'll be like, hit the gas, bitch.
I will say that you do
my.
not want to be in the car with me then.
No, I'll be at a stoplight, and the light changes, and I'm like, is this mother moving? And I count to 5, and then I lay on my horn.
Oh, well,
And
then that person ain't paying attention. Then that's all that
yeah.
is.
And I mean, even when Chad's driving and that happens, like he won't honk the horn, and I'll reach over and be like,
Oh my.
And then he's always like, you don't know if they have a gun. And I was like, I'll take that chance.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Does he?
goodness.
Does he have one? Oh my goodness.
Well, this is Arizona, so this is defend your land type of laws here,
Mm.
where someone could walk onto your driveway and you could shoot them. I don't know if they were going to be an intruder.
Just protecting my stuff, man.
That's why my ex-wife would never come to my house. She was afraid I was going to shoot her.
Oh my god.
Then they'd be like, "You shot your ex-wife?" I'd be like, "That's her."
It's like, oh, she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I told her not to come.
Mm.
But what was you guys' recent nightmare that you could remember having?
Oh god.
Because I had I was binge watching the last season of Sabrina, so maybe that's why it was in my head. But it was more like a nightmare erotic dream.
Oh, we having those
Oh,
now.
what in the world?
To where I was married to the devil. And if you watch The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, you will know why.
Yes.
And it was a weird dream because we were people were trying to kill us, and it was weird. But I was married to him and very happy.
And very happy. I think we need to trade dreams because you said nightmare. I had nightmares as well as what do you call it whenever your mind is awake but your body is asleep? Sleep paralysis. I get
Oh
that a
yeah.
lot. I've been getting that since I was like 16. So whenever I'm like really really stressed, I'll get several a night. So and then I'll wake up during the witching hour too.
Oh.
But yeah, I know I'm weird as fuck. But
I don't think most people know what the witching hour is.
it's several sorts. It's weird. It's like between 2 and 5 a.m. 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. You wake up during, like those particular times, and it's supposed to be where the veil is like the thinnest. Um, I guess like the surreal veil is like the thinnest where you can like see spirits and
Yeah.
talk. Research it. Research the witching hour. Google is there for a reason. But my nightmare just recently was my ex-husband arranging a kidnapping, and
Oh.
the person kidnaps me, and the ex-husband is in the room as well, and as my eyes close, I see him and he's smiling, and then when I wake up from being kidnapped, he's holding a phone and he has like some crazy things that I did on camera. So that was my nightmare.
Yeah, I had
So
a nightmare the other night to where I was at the PX or retail store and I didn't have a mask and I forgot it and everyone's like, "Where's your mask? Put your mask on." And I was like,
First of all, the PX is a nightmare in itself.
Yeah.
So like without having it in a dream, the PX is a nightmare. So
So normally I don't have nightmares, at least that I can remember, but I do wake up in the middle of the night a lot. So my husband apparently having nightmares because I'll hear him laying next to me and he'll be like screaming and cursing and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, what is going on? So that kind of
wow.
I'm surprised I don't go back to sleep and have a nightmare from that. But I sit there and I listen to him, and it's just like half the time I can understand what he's saying, half the time I don't know, but nothing ever makes sense, and I'm not quite sure. And he never remembers having these dreams. I want to record them sometime, but
"That's
I
what
think
they
you
say."
should. You should.
Because there was
I
one
haven't.
night to where Chad punched me in the sleep, and he
He wasn't.
claims
He
he
wasn't
cl-
sleeping.
yeah, he claims he doesn't remember it, and I was like, "Bitch, I'm gonna record it."
He was awake. He knew what he was
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the crazy things of the quarantine, COVID, and 2020. What is the like? What has been keeping you sane during COVID era, during quarantine?
I've completely lost my mind. I'm not sane anymore. I have to homeschool my kids, which is like, oh my god, they go to school for a reason and they need to go back to school.
Oof.
It's, I think I've gotten more gray hairs in the past year than I have my entire life.
Oh, wow.
I've just gotten fatter.
Hey,
Oh,
I've actually lost 35 pounds in the past 2 months though, so
woot
that's a plus.
woot.
Yeah, my oldest has shredded all this weight, and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, but that's not fair. That's just youth.
Yeah, that's what I tell him.
That's just youth.
How did you get him to do it, Clay? Did you take him to the gym?
No, this is the funny thing. Like, he gained a lot of weight 2 years ago.
Well, he was drinking a lot of soda. Did he cut out the
Uh-huh.
soda?
And
There you go.
in his last annual checkup, they're like, you're obese, which I don't really, he wasn't really obese,
No.
but they're like,
No.
you're a bit heavy. And
Him
so,
was tick. Him was
yeah,
tick.
and we'd be like when he would come around, like he'd be eating something and I'd be like, do you really need that?
Aw.
You made him feel bad.
Yeah, but now he was like, I don't know if I would have lost it if you guys wouldn't have been on me like that. Because even his like sports teacher is like, damn, Bowman, you've lost all the weight. Because like the teacher was giving him a hard time too last year.
And maybe it taught him how to be a little bit more like. Do you think he is more aware of whether or not he is hungry, or if he's eating because of emotional duress, or you know what I mean?
I don't know. Because I mean, his last relationship, she was putting him through some stuff.
He's like 12.
He's 18.
Close enough.
I know, yeah, but that was a relationship that I was happy to see go away because I have a personal rule. If you leave somebody, you don't go back to them. And they dated and broke up in middle school and then got back together in high school, and I was like, no. I was like, this ain't gonna last, and it didn't.
Hey, dads know best.
But let's
Dads
take
know
a
best.
quick break and hang on tight. And after a word from our sponsors, we will be back. So head to the kitchen, grab that snack, and we will be right back. Hey everyone, this is Clay from Chillin with Clay and Wanda's podcast. Today I want to talk to you about the Anchor app. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First, it's free. They have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, so you no longer have to be exhausted using different methods of getting your podcast out there. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. It'll be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place on your phone or computer. So go check out Anchor at anchor.fm. And we're back. And you guys totally missed it because when I was like, go to the kitchen, grab a snack, and come on back, I could hear Chad in the bedroom being like, oh my God.
Oh my.
Because he's used to gaming, so he's out here like tapping the watch. And I was like, we're wrapping up, we're getting to it. But how has
Hello.
COVID-19 affected you guys? Because we were just talking about it, and like I gained weight, but the thing for me is I just don't give a flying fuck how fat I am right now. And it's quite
I had that-
liberating. I mean, I'm
seem to
losing
have that
weight
problem.
because I'm losing weight and stuff, but like our drilling is virtual because with COVID it keeps spiking. So if it's too dangerous to go in, you're on Microsoft Teams doing your drilling. And at work, there's been so many periods that all of us in the government have been working from home. And then for the longest time in Arizona, the gyms were shut down longer than everywhere in the country. Like it's been crazy.
Mm. Um, yeah, let me think. How has COVID-19, aka the COVID era, affected me? Well, as you, where do I fucking start? As you guys know, uh, my 9.5 year marriage ended. Um, so there's
Everybody join the
that.
house.
But with that happening, I was able to find myself. Um, did I want the divorce? No. Um,
Who
but
filed?
as funny story, do you really want to hear that story? um,
Because I thought you
so
two were in it for the long haul, and then when
I
I
was in it for the long
realized,
haul.
because like I'm really blonde, so I was like, what's going on with her? And
I
then
was in it
it
for the
took
long
me
haul.
forever to realize what was going on. And
I
then I
was
was
in it
like,
for the long
oh.
haul. Long story short, I went to visit my folks in Myrtle Beach, and I look online, and his mother, aka my ex-mother-in-law, posted a picture of him and another girl at her house, saying it was a wonderful day. Um, and that's how I knew that it was over. And that's how I knew it was over. So when I came home, there was papers on the table. He
Wow.
wanted it to be amicable. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and beg you to stay because I begged you to go to counseling for yourself as well as the marriage for years, and you didn't want to do it. So I guess it's done. Um, so papers were on the counter for 2 days, and he was the one walking around the house upset. And I'm just like, motherfucker, what you mad for? Like, why? Why are you upset? So it took him 2 days to even like bring it up, and it was supposed to be amicable, but then he ended up spending like my thing is, if you know you're getting a divorce and you want it to be amicable, there needs to be communication. Like, okay, we need to split this up. We need to, we need to have meetings in the house. Like, okay, what's going to be happening? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
No, he wanted to spend his time with said girl the entire time, and I'm just like, well, I'm not going to be sitting here waiting for you on your schedule. So I said, fuck it. I took the advice of my brothers, and they were like, get a lawyer. So I got a lawyer, and then I had him served at his girlfriend's house
Oh
with
wow.
her kids there.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
And that is when it stopped being amicable as far as he's concerned because he thought I used the money in the savings account to get a lawyer, but I did not. Um, that's another episode. But anywho,
Oh, you're better than me. My first divorce, like I drained the account before she could get a penny.
well, Well, the thing was, he was like, we can use the savings account to get your stuff from Minnesota to South Carolina because my hometown is South Carolina, and
Yeah.
I'm not about to stay in a fucking state where I have no kind of support whatsoever. Like,
Yeah.
and he's like, you can keep my last name if you want to. The fuck would I want to do that for? Um, so yeah, I ended up taking everything out of the account except for like $9.50, to like signify how long we've been married. But anyhow,
You
I was
should have
able
left
to.
$6.66.
Mm,
Oh, jeez.
mm. Honey, let's just be thankful that the pull-out method worked all those years and I never got pregnant because I really would have been petty.
Yeah,
I,
cause all
I
the
would have been
time
a
I'd be
lot
like, when
worse.
are they gonna have kids?
I, honey, the pull-out method works wonderfully for me. So thank God. Thank God. But I
Oh my.
Oh my
but
god.
I will say I was able to like find myself. I'm getting confidence back. I'm losing all my weight. I'm getting muscle. I'm doing things I haven't done in years. And I will say like the one thing that the COVID era has given back to me is my love for music. Um, for a while there were times where I just wouldn't listen to like new music, but with the divorce, um there were a lot of nights where I just couldn't go to sleep. So I'm like surfing Instagram And then I run across this one sponsored ad, and it's for this band called Shifley. That's Shiffley. And there's and there was a song that was playing in the commercial, and it was called Sleepless Nights. And I was like, okay, I'll bite. Maybe it's a sign. So I'm listening to the song, and I'm like, holy shit. Let me just go over to iTunes and buy this right now. And I've been a fan of theirs like ever since. Um, and it's not just with their music, it's with like other bands too. I've gotten back into like Incubus and just trying to like cleanse my soul, and it's it's been difficult, but the music has helped tremendously. So, Shifley, guys, if you're hearing this, thank you so much for keeping me sane. Thank you for continuing to keep me sane.
Well, I discovered a comedian. Oh my God, she is so funny. Have you heard of Leanne Morgan?
No.
She kept
No.
popping up and she kept popping up in my Facebook, and her material's been the same for like 20 years, but it's hilarious. And then she had a podcast about menopause. So I was listening to the podcast.
You were like, okay, I'll bite.
Yeah, and it was so hilarious, and I was like, "Oh my God, I love her." And like it's COVID, you're just getting so bored, and like new stuff, like you're just experiencing stuff that I don't think that we ever would if we weren't in this pandemic.
That's true.
Mm-mm-mm.
But what do you think about the response that our country's been doing with the vaccinations?
Uh, a little too late.
Our country's a big hot mess right now, and that's all I gotta say about that. It fries my brain to even think about the government anymore with all this going on.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation, without a doubt. Um, and it's hard for me to criticize when I'm not. It's hard for me to criticize when I don't necessarily have the power to fix it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yep.
So it's like I'm sure they are trying their damnedest and their hardest, but on the outside looking in, we are it's not good. On the outside looking in, it's not good. Now the people that are, that have the power, I'm sure they're doing everything that they can to fix it. Um,
Yeah,
let's hope we see some brighter days.
Because I saw on Facebook, a lot of my friends were like, I can't get scheduled for vaccine because they opened it up to like 65 and older.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, let me go see. And I get on there, and like they opened up the oh, what's the football team here? The Cardinals.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
They opened up their stadium to vaccinations to where there's like long lines everywhere. And if you go on there, they're backed up for like 2 to 3 months. So you won't even get
Wow.
in easy to get a vaccination there.
Oh wow.
They
Yeah.
opened that up here too with the 65 and older, but then like the 16 to 65 with underlying health conditions too,
Yeah.
which would have fallen into me being able to get it. But like I said, I really don't want it right now. Not that I'd probably be able to even get it. I'd be waiting for a year to even be on the list.
So do you think that masks should be mandatory?
I mean,
Yeah.
whenever you go to like, I've seen this for years because I love like Japan and Korea and South Korea and like some of these other Asian countries, and when they travel or whenever they go out and there's like masked people everywhere, they're already wearing masks, and this was before
Yeah.
pandemics. So for them, I'm guessing that it ain't no thing. For us, we're not used to that. I
Yeah,
I
'cause-
don't mind the mask. I wouldn't care because I'm gonna
I
wear it regardless.
I think if more people were on board with the whole mask thing, it probably wouldn't be as bad as it is right now. But you
Mm,
have people saying that they have a condition that, they can't wear a mask for this reason or that reason. Well, if you can't breathe or if you have lung problems to start with, to say you can't wear your mask, that's more of a reason I would think to wear your mask.
mm.
But who am I?
Yeah, because when I lived in Korea, not the northern part,
No, not the northern part.
everybody, like, all the locals were wearing masks, and I was like, what the hell are they scared for? Now I
Right,
realize.
right.
Right?
But I mean, I don't mind wearing a mask, and if I know that it keeps me safe as well as other people, so be it. I mean, it's for me, it's not that difficult. For me, it's restricting, but I mean, I'm fine with it.
I'm confused over the whole like state to state interstate travel type of thing being mandatory. You're supposed to have your mask on if you're on the highway. I'm in my vehicle, so why am I required to wear it? Now if I can see going through like a toll road or something, and if you're coming up on to pay your toll, obviously you're going to put your mask on, but you should have that already ready in your car to do that. But if I'm driving, to, Virginia or something and I'm on a big stretch of interstate, I shouldn't have to have my mask on my face if I'm the only one in my vehicle or if I'm in my vehicle with my family.
Mm,
Well, here's a funny story since you bring that up. When the mask started becoming mandatory, like everyone in Phoenix, they were wearing it. Like some idiots were wearing it while they were driving, and
Same here.
they passed out.
oh my.
Yeah, and they were causing car accidents and all this. So the news was like, "Don't wear it while you're driving unless you have to open your window," because people were too stupid.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
no, that's horrible.
Yeah, but
Damn.
that's how people are.
Ooh, that. Oh my. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause that's the funny thing here in Phoenix, like they'll say, like the, like the stuff that you would think would be normal to do, you have to explain not to do the stupid stuff. Like it's insane to me, 'cause I'm from the East Coast, so I'm just not used to people not knowing,
Hmm.
what they should be doing.
Oh, and I'm still here, so I see it all the time.
I just don't know
Ay,
why you're
ay,
still
ay.
there.
I I don't either.
I mean, well, at this point, is there any place better?
Then
Um,
Altoona, Pennsylvania? Yes.
Well,
yeah,
see, I've.
there's most of the state of Pennsylvania is better than Altoona.
Oh my Lord. See, and I've never been to Altoona, so.
Well,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, I would say that it's a very poor state, unless you're in like the big cities. Wouldn't you
Mm,
Yeah,
agree?
for the most part.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's worse states out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not the worst in the world, but there's so much better that I don't know.
see, I need to
Well,
be someplace more.
right now I'm pretty much stuck here because my son, my oldest, still has 5 more years before I can actually get him away from his dad.
Mm,
So kind of stuck here because of that. I've actually, whenever we were starting to talk about moving to Arizona, like I'm like, well, you can get him during the summer. I'll ship him back, or over Christmas and during the summer you can have him, or we'll even do it where you can just have him like one weekend a month and I'll fly him home. Well, then I'd have to go to Pittsburgh and pick him up, and that would just be a waste of a trip and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what? If I really wanted this and it came down to it, we're doing it, whether you like it or not.
boom.
You know, there's ways around things.
Yeah.
But he's just a big crybaby, so he probably tried to fight it until I was 90 years old. I couldn't leave. I'd be like, I'd be dead fighting for my son to be moving to Arizona, and he'd be like 25, and
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
yeah, I'm just
Does somebody
he's
not like
not worth
not
it.
having control? Is that what that
Yeah,
is? He wants
that's
to be controlling.
exactly, yes, yes,
Mm.
so true,
Can't have everything. Can't have
exactly,
it both ways. Can't have your freedom and then want to control the other person.
yes.
Yikes.
Well, on that note, that's our show. Oh, thank you everyone for tuning in. And just remember, this is a weekly show that we'll be doing. So hopefully we have Ebony back.
I think you will. Yes, I think you will. I will be in Tennessee for the next couple of days and whatnot, making content for my Instagram as well as my TikTok pages, both at Ebony Nicole. That's EBONE NICOL for Instagram and TikTok. Just letting you know.
Well, thank you for joining our show today. Wanda, do you have anything you want to say?
No.
Oh, wait, plug your show. Plug your show. Do you guys have an Instagram and all that stuff yet?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Clay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can follow our Instagram at Chillin, Chillin, with Clay and Wanda. And we're not on Twitter yet because I don't know if it's Trump free.
No,
Oh, Clay,
it's not.
stop.
But
They
if you.
might they don't be putting stuff on there that you shouldn't. They try to block you too.
Oh, I know. But actually, I did report somebody this week and they got
Oh,
blocked.
geez.
But anyhow. But if you
Oh
go to
boy.
our website, Chillin' with Clay and Wanda, we have links to our podcast and also links to our Facebook page and Instagram. So go check them out. Until next time, have a great week.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to our podcast.
We are available on the following platforms:
Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Tune in today.